Back in chapter 3, we looked at compositing a little bit when we talked about the levels effect. And in this chapter, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into compositing. In this movie, we're going to look at how to use lights to help us when we're compositing. And throughout this chapter, I'm going to stress one simple concept, and that is that if you get all the elements that you're trying to composite to have similar attributes, then they will look more like they belong in the same scene. For the next few movies, we're going to be using the subway scene I created that we looked at in After Effects CS4 Essential Training on lynda.com. Let me see if I can give you a little preview of what this looks like. It's me kind of sitting on a subway here, and then there's trees moving in the background. And these are all separate elements. There's a movie playing that's basically my wife was holding a camera out the window, and that's where we get these bushes from. And then we have some green screen footage of me here. And you can see here in the thumbnail and the project panel what that looked like, me in front of a green screen. Keyed that out. And then we have a CG render of a subway. As you can see at this point, it looks pretty fake. So let's go ahead and create a light. And what I'm going to do is go and right-click somewhere here in a blank area of the timeline. Alternatively, you can go to the Layer menu at the top and select New Light. And I'm just going to right-click somewhere around here. Select New Light. I'm going to create a spotlight. And I'm going to leave the settings at the defaults for a second and go ahead and click OK. Now, obviously, this is not good. This is overdoing it. Just kind of rearrange the order here. I like to have my cameras on top in my timeline for whatever reason. That's just kind of a weird quirk of mine. And so I'm going to go over here, put my cursor over the blue arrow, that's the Z-axis, and click and drag up, which will pull the light outwards a little bit. Now, I do like this vignetting I'm getting around the edges. It does seem to pull everything in together, but it's a little intense. So I'm going to open up my lighting settings here. And let's go into light options. And I want to increase the cone angle. So let's get a little bit wider and make sure that our cone feather's all the way up at 100%. Now, what I also want to do is tint this just a little bit. So I'm going to click on the color swatch and maybe make this a little bit more of a warm tone, kind of an orangish yellow. And then take this over to the right just a little bit. So this is tinted with about that color right there. You don't want to be too intense because any subtle changes that you make will be very intense when it's put in front of a light. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you see a significant difference there, even though we changed this color swatch very slightly. And so now what we've done is that we've tinted the entire image with one color. And we've kind of brought everything together because this vignette applies to everything. Now, one of the good things I like to do when I have CG renders, one of the things that I've noticed, a little trick that I use, is that when you have just kind of random shadows, it just kind of works. And in the real life, that's the way it is. If you look around the room that you're in right now, you'll see just kind of random shadows all over the place. That's what makes it look believable. So in real life, this area next to my body would probably be in shadow, maybe from the bench in front of it, maybe from my legs or whatever. And there would also probably be shadows conceivably up here. And so the shadows, again, tie everything together and make it look more believable as a composite. Next, we're going to add even more to this effect by using something called an adjustment layer.